greater than 9. If n is greater than 9, okay, then print it out. Put char of n divided by 10. Put char n divided by 10. Right? But sum this with a string that is 0. I've forgotten here another bracket. Perfect. So if the number n is greater than 9, print out the value. Otherwise, let's continue to the next option. That next option is going to be to underscore put char, right? Okay, this time I won't forget. Number, now give us n, the actual value of n plus, so this is actually just asking you to print out the value of n. That's all. There's nothing special about this. So then the last one is to give us the new line. So here is the code, my friends. So at first we created two integers. One, which is the numbers, one is for the count. So while the count goes from index 0 to index 9, so the first index set to 0, while the count is also less or equal to 9, keep on incrementing it. Then for number equal to 0 and the number less or equal to 14, keep on incrementing it. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like for example, I don't want to over explain. Here is the thing. Like here, it will start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up. Then it comes back. Then it comes back. Like that, like that, like that, continuous. This is what is happening here. So if n is greater than 9, then perform this calculation here. Get n divided by 9. Okay, let's say 9 divided by 10. What is the value here? 10 divided by 9, it continues. So 10 divided by 10 is what? Is equal to 1 plus 0. 1 plus 0 is equal to 10. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, this is what the code is about. I encourage every discussion. If you believe that 1 plus 0 is equal to 10, please leave it in the comments and we'll help those who do not understand to understand. Otherwise, for me, I'm saying that 1 plus 0 is equal to 10. So it's up to you. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so we can now run Betty, who is supposed to check our code and tell us if we have errors. Betty is saying that we have a prohibited clause, prohibited, or we have spaces that we created, so we need to check this out. I think we did. Where could that be? Where could that be? Perfect. Here is one. Betty got us cheating. Here we go. See this? We left here space. Betty doesn't like this. And also here we left here space. So I think that's corrected. Now we can save it and then ask Betty to confirm if we truly solved it. Betty, are we good to go? Perfect. Betty loves us. This is solved and we are great to go. So we're going to the next assignment, which is about write a function that draws a straight line in the terminal. We want to draw in a straight line like that. So the prototype is here. The best thing is to copy the prototype and then go into the main.h, right? Paste it in here at once. That's already done. Then we save it, come out of that, create a file and start typing in it. So we are supposed to write a function that draws a straight line in the terminal. Then you can only use these instructions where n is the number of times the character dash should be printed. The line should end with a new line. If n is 0 or less, the function should only print the new line. Yeah, that's as simple as that. It's not a complicated one. We're just going to set a variable like line, maybe set it to a line. Then we say if our passed in, for example, here we have a passed in integer n. So if our passed in integer is greater than 0, then we set a for loop that's going to perform the checking or the incrementation. Then after that, we print the output and give it a new line. That's all. So that's what we need to do. So let's copy this and paste it in here. And once we're in, allow it to print. We're going to include main.h as usual. Main, sorry, let me move it up. Sorry about that. Main.h, that's being called. So the next thing is to give it a description. The description here is we're printing print underscore line, right? So this draws a line, a straight line actually, draws a straight line using a character. Using a character, this one. Again. Okay, so after that we can now say what is our set whatever, our set argument. Our set argument is that, so the number is about the number of characters to be printed out. That's it. We close it up. Then we set our our void character. It's not a void function. the void function of the line that takes in an argument of int n, an integer, and we set this, and then we give it, let's say, an integer of line. Okay, so now here we're using an if statement. One thing you have to be careful about is when you declare here a variable, make sure you create a space for declaration of the functions that you're using inside. So let's say n, which is our integer, is greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, then we set a for. Okay, we set a for in function method, a for method that's going to check if line is equal to 0 at the start. If it's equal to 0, okay, is assigned a 0 at the start, and the line is less or equal to n, which is our number, then increment line. So while we increment the line, we can now ask the program to output the value. So it's going to output a what? What is it outputting? It's outputting this character here, right? So after that, then we tell it to come out, and then output a new line every after it performs that function that completes that task. So here, this is the code. We're given an argument that is n, right? So that argument is going to be used for determining how many times the line, which is our new integer disk variable that we have set, is going to be incremented to be set equivalent to the how many times our character will be printed out. So if n is greater than 0, n is greater than 0, which is our integer, is greater than 0, let's say it's 0.5 or like that. For line set initially to 0, when line is less or equal to n, less or equal to n, please keep on incrementing it. Then while incrementing it, output this character as being the one output the line. So then create a new line for it to go to the next line, and the program breaks out. That's it. So we save it out. Yeah, my funny comedy that is always there. There's this lady who was teaching a guy. It's like okay, it's like when you're saying my name is the genius villagers, when you want to say my name is genius villager, you say it like this in French, like je m'appelle genius villager. So genius villager. So now the woman was like, say je, the guy is like je m'appelle pel. So then the woman is like, je m'appelle. The man responds, le poupou. That's